Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, you guessed it, we're going to look at Shiba Inu and see where we can land with a price target for the 2024-2025 bull run. But before we dive on into this, this is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I am not a financial advisor, and while so many of you are hopping into these videos, and I really appreciate that, and you're not subscribed, you've got to hit that subscribe button. Every day at 6 a.m., I'm dropping a new price target video, and I'm covering so much more in this rapidly evolving crypto space. And while you're hitting that subscribe button, be sure to hit the notification button as well so you don't miss a thing. But okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this. Okay, Shiba Inu. What can we say about Shiba Inu? Let me tell you something. I went live every day in the spring of 2021 during the peak of euphoria. That was the peak, even though Shiba Inu put in a higher peak in the fall of 2021, in the Northern Hemisphere at least. But in the spring of 2021, Shiba Inu went crazy. And that was the peak of euphoria by so many metrics. And it's awesome, you know, higher high in the fall of 2021. But I remember getting questions every day before this big pump here. What about Shiba Inu? What about Shiba Inu? And being oblivious to what was to come. If there was one cryptocurrency that I would say was the big winner of the last bull run, it has to be Shiba Inu. Look at this. Up 687,000% all time, and even more so when it peaked. I remember that time in the fall of 2021. I remember panic selling and not being able to. Remember this. I wasn't able to. I was live while Shiba Inu was breaking through this new all-time high point, 0.00008. I was going live and I was watching the price and I was absolutely freaking out because I had to sell my SHIB. And I'm a buyer of SHIB, but at the right time. And so let's talk about that. And let me dispel some myths with SHIB, things that you're going to hear over time with Shiba Inu that you just absolutely need to block out so that you're not left as a bag holder. First of all, SHIB is not going to $1. And I will stand by this. Unless the dollar goes to zero, Shiba Inu will never, literally never go to $1. If Shiba Inu went to $1, that would be a $589 trillion market cap. Shiba Inu, in this case, would be worth as much as all the assets in the world. It's not happening, okay? It is not happening. And second, SHIB is not going to a penny. Because, all right, $1, that's ridiculous. You know, you could buy $10 worth of SHIB and get something like 14 million SHIB. Okay, that's going to be $14 million. But perhaps you could convince yourself that SHIB's going to a penny. So let me think about this. A $6 trillion market cap. Bitcoin peaked a little over $1 trillion in 2021, but SHIB is going to $6 trillion. It's not happening. Okay, could SHIB be worth $6 trillion one day far into the future when a loaf of bread costs $1,000? Maybe, but anywhere near a penny, just get that out of your mind, because there are people who are going to call for SHIB to go to a penny. And if you wait for SHIB to go to a penny, you're just going to get burned. All right, you're going to be up big. If you buy now, you're going to be up big at some point and you're not going to sell. It's not happening. And here's the objection that I get all the time. But Alex, they burn their supply. They burn their supply. Okay, we're going to take a look at their rate of burn. And I'm going to hit you with a heavy dose of reality, okay? But one thing that I do want to say to encourage you, because I am going to load up on SHIB at the right time, is that this is the beauty of meme coins. Historically, what we've seen, this is mostly from data with Doge, is that meme coins will lie dormant. And I'm not talking about the new meme coins like Pepe and all that. I'm not talking about the ones that are created and launched and then, you spike for 20 minutes and then dump to zero. I'm talking about the ones that did exist last cycle that we have a reasonable expectation will do fine this cycle. Dogecoin, top 20 in market cap. Shiba Inu, top 20 in market cap. I think Pepe is going to be fine. But Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, here's what I'm expecting. They will lie dormant until after Bitcoin crosses its all-time high. So think back with me to December of 2020. Bitcoin had just crossed its all-time high. It was a heavy point of resistance for about a week, but then finally it broke through. The day that it broke through, Dogecoin was 0.4 of a cent, actually a little under 0.4 of a cent. And then within a month and a half, Dogecoin went up to 8 cents. on the day of the Super Bowl, around the time of the Super Bowl. It was insane. And of course, you know how much Doge went even higher than that. I mean, I was blown away. I was blown away when Doge went to 18, 19 cents. That was way higher than I thought it was going to go. And so maybe Shiba Inu will go way higher than I think it's going to go. I hold this open-handedly, my price target, but you don't have to buy any of this until around the time that Bitcoin puts in a new all-time high. Maybe around the time that Bitcoin is at $60,000, that's when I'm going to start eating away at Doge, and it's probably, and Shiba Inu, excuse me, it's probably going to be at a similar price, maybe a little bit higher than where it is now. And that's what I love about it, because meme coins like Shiba Inu and Doge are perfect euphoria coins. Buy in heavily around that specific time, not financial advice. That's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to buy a lot. All right. So they burn their supply. Okay. So that means, therefore, Shiba Inu is going to $1. All right. Let's take a look at this. All right. This first chart might be encouraging. A year ago, Shiba Inu supply was 589.36 trillion. Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at how much it's gone down. No, that chart could be a little bit misleading here. So their supply was 589.36 million trillion. I meant to say trillion. As of today, their supply is 589.28 trillion. So yes, there is a burning mechanism that's going on, and they have burned 80 billion coins over the last year. That sounds like a lot, right? But when you're thinking about things in terms of trillions and hundreds of trillions, you've got to understand the perspective. Here's what this looks like on the all-time chart. You can't even see the burn. All right, there is a burn, yes. Will that burn get more aggressive? Perhaps. I won't deny that. But at the current rate of burn, 80 billion coins over the last year, this number right here, if you haven't guessed right now, is how many years it would take for SHIB to burn their entire supply. It's not happening. That is 7,367 years for SHIB to burn their entire supply. And that's not realistic anyway, because there's plenty of people who bought SHIB, lost coins, whatever. But 7,367 years, that's for 80 billion a year. That's the difference between billions and trillions. We've got a long way to go before we're factoring in the burn when it comes to Shiba Inu. So with that in mind, quite simply, here's where I'm going with SHIB. Maybe it's way too low, but man, it's actually really difficult for me to even give this price. Okay, so a 2.618 retrace from its bear market bottom to its all-time high. I believe that SHIB will put in a new all-time high. If you watch my Doge video, I do not believe that Doge is going to put in a new all-time high. I think what happened with Doge was just far too extraordinary. It's going to put in a lower high this time around. And maybe that'll affect the price of SHIB. Maybe they go hand in hand, but Doge is more inflationary than SHIB. There's a lot more supply in circulation now than when it peaked in 2021. Not a ton, but a decent amount, like 20% more. So anyway, 2.618 retrace from its bear market bottom to its all-time high. That gives us a price of 0.00022192 and for context, that's a 24x from today's prices. Some of you may be listening and thinking, man, you only think this is going to do a 24x? Well, a couple of factors with that. Okay, first of all, that is a $130 billion market cap for SHIB. To think that something like Shiba Inu would be worth $130 billion, that is so far beyond the realm of comprehension for me. And maybe I'm thinking too small. I think I'm being more realistic. And even maybe I'm still living in a dream world thinking that SHIB's going to get to $130 billion. So if you think that's too high, well, here's my argument. SHIB has had a much stronger bear market than I initially thought it would. I was so excited about buying SHIB last bull run when I was thinking about the bear market, because I thought SHIB would just go down by 99%. But what we've seen with Shiba Inu is that it's had a pretty strong bear market. For context, in comparison, it only had a 90% drop. Only 90% for a cryptocurrency like Shiba Inu, I would have never guessed. I would have thought for sure it would have gone much lower. But if it went down 99%, I would have been loading up unapologetically. I would have been the Shiba Inu master. I would have been, that Dogecoin millionaire. I would have been the SHIB millionaire. But it didn't do that. It had a strong bear market, which makes me think that it will put in a higher high. And then if you're thinking, oh man, that's way too low, here's my response. Are you out of your mind? Where do you think SHIB's going? $250 billion for Shiba Inu? I don't buy it. I don't. But, you know, if we're going to look at where Shiba Inu could go, I just cannot picture it going beyond a 4.236 retrace. That would be off the charts. That's a 0.00035522 Shiba Inu. You know, that's a 200 plus billion, that's a $209 billion market cap. I could see that one day, but I just, no, not 200 plus billion dollars for something like Shiba Inu. Where, yeah, let me just stop. Okay. This is where I'm landing. And it's still insane to me. 0.00022, about 3x from its previous all-time high, and about 24x from today's prices. That's where I'm landing. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Am I being too bullish, being too bearish? And of course, as you know, this very much depends on Bitcoin putting in a new all-time high. I just want to remind you, watch my Bitcoin video for context as to what I'm thinking. But otherwise, I will see you in another video. Have a good one.